possible. So you know that the first king by the Greek Empire was the one and only Alexander the Great. And Alexander the Great was killed at the age of what? 33 years old. And before that, he was able to conquer the whole entire world. And that's why until today he's so famous, because so young and such a powerful control he had around the world. But not only he was controlling countries, he was controlling also the culture of the countries. He used to have um, one of the main what was his name? I forgot. One of the main uh, philosophies. Okay, I forgot the name just. That he was all the time with him. Aristo. Aristo was with him. Yes, and he was with him all the time. He was Yanni's Rabbi. So he was taking him to the different countries, and whatever Aristo was telling him to do, he was doing. The Gemara writes, what was the key of success of Alexander the Great? The Gemara writes down, I believe it's in Masechet Yoma, the Gemara says that the Kutim were unfortunately Jews, half Jews, whatever, that they went to Alexander and they told him, listen, the Jews in Jerusalem, they're dangerous guys. They're going to rebel against you. Okay, you should know, have that in mind. Now, a king hates when he hears that somebody wants to rebel against him. He decided to take an army and to go to conquer Jerusalem. At that time, the Kohen Gadol was Shimon HaTzadik. And the Gemara says quickly, Shimon HaTzadik went out from Jerusalem with 8 garments of the Kohen Gadol. You're not allowed to do that. But over here was Sakana. He took the 8 garments of Kohen Gadol. He took his people and they walk outside Jerusalem. As soon as Alexander the Great sees Shimon HaTzadik coming with the garments of the Kohen Gadol, he comes down off his horse. You have to understand, for the king of the empire of the world to come down from his horse, and he bent down in front of Shimon HaTzadik. The soldiers were in shock. What is this guy doing? They ask him, right, 7 times, and it says that what happened, he says that every time that he goes to fight, he sees the image of this man, of Shimon HaTzadik. Okay? And therefore, that image is what helped him to conquer all the countries. So Shimon HaTzadik said, you know, I'm praying for you and for your empire. I pray that you will have success every single day in the Beit HaMikdash. And you want to destroy the Beit HaMikdash? So wow, I never knew about this. If I was knowing, I will never come to this place. From now on, I'm giving you permission to all of Am Yisrael to do whatever you want with the Kutim. Very good. Rabotai, let me go a little bit into insights. I have to understand this story. First of all, why Shimon HaTzadik wants to pray for Alexander the Great's success? Since when you pray for somebody, it's like praying now that Assad, Yimach Shemo, will win. You don't know who is good, who is bad. Why it was so important for Shimon HaTzadik to pray for the success of the Greek Empire? And there is no coincidence. The years later, the sons and grandsons of Shimon HaTzadik were the ones who fought against the grandsons of Alexander the Great. There was a miracle of Hanukkah. So what happened at the time of Shimon HaTzadik? The Shimon HaTzadik wanted to pray for him. And what happened at the end of the story, right, when the empire of the Greeks fell, that Am Yisrael fought against them. Rabbi, listen to this. Shimon HaTzadik, hu haya mishirei Knesset HaGdolah. The Mishnah in Pirkei Avot says, Shimon HaTzadik was the remains, so to speak, of the Anshe Knesset HaGdolah. What happened in Anshe Knesset HaGdolah? The Gemara writes down that Anshe Knesset HaGdolah saw that Am Yisrael cannot control the Yetzer Hara of Avodah Zarah. Today you see a cow, people are bending in front of the cow in India. You don't even have any type of feelings of a desire to bend down, right? Back in the days, there was a desire to do Avodah Zarah. Like today, there is desire for women. There was desire also for Avodah Zarah. So people, Ami said, they couldn't control themselves. They went and they asked to please cancel that Yetzer Hara. The Gemara writes down, okay, that they actually canceled the Yetzer Hara. They wanted also to cancel the Yetzer Hara of Arayot, of forbidden woman. And then there was a whole, but again, I'm not going to tell you the whole Gemara right now. Chickens, exactly. Lema'aseh, the Yetzer Hara of Avodah Zarah got cancelled. The Gemara writes, there was a fire that came out Miben HaKeruvim, from the Kodesh HaKodashim. A fire that came out with the image of a lion. That there was such a strong Yetzer Hara that even in the most holiest place there was the Yetzer Hara of Avodah Zarah. Unbelievable. To make the long story short, my dear friends, Shimon HaTzadik comes right after that. But because the Yetzer Hara of Avodah Zarah got cancelled, so also the Nevuah, the prophecy, get cancelled. Then what happened? If you're going to open up Masechet Avot, Pirkei Avot, the Mishnayot, you're going to find out something very interesting. Shimon HaTzadik in the Mishnayot is the first one who says the Mishnah, Hu Haya Omer. Until then, there was no Hu Haya Omer. Moshe Kibel Torah Sinai, Mesara Yoshua, Yoshua Zkenim, there was no Hu Haya Omer. He used to say. He used to say means he was the first one to bring Hidushim to the world. Until then, whatever you got, you pass it over. Shimon HaTzadik was the first one. So what happened was that at the time of Shimon HaTzadik, people started to find the sweetness of the Torah. Such a beautiful way of finding Hidushim and new things. What happened then? There was not more equal Yetzer Tov and Yetzer Hara. You used to have Avodah Zarah from one hand and Nevuah from the other hand. That was equal. The Yetzer Hara of Avodah Zarah get cancelled, and also the Nevuah get cancelled. And now what happens? All of a sudden there is Metikut Torah, sweetness in the Torah by finding Chidushim. So what's going to happen from the other side? It's not anymore equal. Outside the Bet Midrash, you have people working in the land, know the temptations of anything. That's it. Rabotai, Shimon HaTzadik prayed to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that the Goyim will have something that will bring them sweetness as well. What was it? What was it? Philosophy. The Greek philosophy. That will bring the balance to a point that will be equal. Torah from one side and Amavdin, philosophy of the Greeks. That's why Shimon HaTzadik was praying for the kingdom of Yavan, of the Greek, to success. That was Aristo, etc., etc. But then what happened? Years later, the Greeks decided to put decrees against what? Torah learning. When the Greeks came at the time of the Hashmonaim, they decided no more Shabbat, no more Brit Milah, no more Rosh Chodesh, no more Torah. No more Torah? If there is no more Torah, so there is no more room for you guys. So at that point, the Hashmonaim needed to go and fight against the Greeks. Why? Because they know that they have no more strength. If there is no Torah, there is no strength. Now listen to this. We say in the Al Nisim, Masarta Giborim be'ad Chalashim, Ve'Rabbim be'ad Me'atim. A lot in hands of a little. Usha'im be'ad Tzadikim. All good, all this good. Utmeim be'ad Teorim. And then, Ve'Zedim be'ad Oskei Toratecha. What are you trying to add over here? We're trying to tell you that the whole reason why the Greek Empire fell was because he decided to be Zedim. What's Zedim? Oske Toratecha is one hand. The opposite of Oske Toratecha is Mevatle Toratecha. Right? Mevatle Toratecha, that's the opposite. But over here we call them Zedim. Why Zedim? Because purposely they came to cancel the Torah and learning. Today, Rabotai, nowadays we don't have any more philosophy and no more this. It's over. Today you have just temptations, right? Today the young generation, they don't think anymore. They're out there. Whatever it's a pleasure. We do it. Today you're gonna find something unbelievable. Today you see that the same way that there is such a strong Yetzirah for temptations, there is a strong Yetzirah of Chidushet Torah that simple people they have. All of a sudden you see these simple people coming over, Rabbi, I have something to tell you, beautiful Hidush. And you see the joy. That never happened before. The Talmidei Chachamim, they knew, the Amei Aratzot, they couldn't, they didn't know anything. Today, you have everybody have access to Torah in such a beautiful way. Why? You need a constant balance. Why? Says the Maral, for one purpose. To have the real free choice in front of you, and to ubacharta b'chaim. Take the choice of the life. This is the Hag of Hanukkah. You have to choose and to take the choice of life. Whenever you choose life, Borei Olam gives you the shefa and the beracha. So tonight, when we're going to light the candles of Hanukkah, we're going to be lighting the 8 candles, Zot Hanukkah, to pray for Torah, to pray for Irat Shamayim, for us, for our kids, ונהיה אנחנו וצאצאינו, כולנו יודעי שמך, ולומדי תורתך לשמה, אמן כן יהי רצון. רבי יוחנן בן הגשוע אומר, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל, לפיכך לבד להם תורה ומצוות.